After the college entrance exam, I returned to school to pack up my things. And there was a diary on my desk. It wasn't mine, yet it bore my name. A thick volume of hidden youth. A diary of a boy who had a crush on me for 3 years. In my bright and vibrant 17-year-old self. In what I thought were my dull and unremarkable teenage years. It turns out someone liked me so much. The day the college entrance exam ended was a sunny one. At 4:55 in the afternoon, I sat in the classroom, looking up at the window. The examination hall was silent, with lush branches and leaves covering most of the window, their shadows dancing gently, not daring to move too much. I glanced up at the clock again, took a deep breath, and capped my pen. The turning hands of the clock marked the passing of 3 high school years, while each stroke of my pen wrote the uncertain future of my life. Years of diligent study culminated in this single day. The books I had read, the classes I had attended, and the years gone by all came to an end within a few test papers. The bell rang. The exam is over. Please stop writing. I took one last look around at the place where I had spent 3 years of my life, then slowly walked out of the examination hall. After the exam, there was none of the imagined joy of escaping high school. Instead, my heart was filled with a faint sense of parting and loss. As I walked out of the exam hall, my father's steps were as anxious as I had expected, and the strawberry cake he had specially prepared for me was almost ruined by his restless shaking. The crowd was tightly cordoned off to create an exit route. Countless eyes fell upon me, only to quickly shift away upon confirming I wasn't their child. Amidst the deafening clamor around me, I felt as if transported to another world, suddenly realizing my youth had come to a close, both flamboyant and silent, beneath the seemingly grand yet tranquil ripples of this moment. The next day, I returned to school to collect the belongings I'd left behind. Walking through the wisteria-covered corridor, I encountered a group of younger students along the way, their fresh faces free of makeup, high ponytails swaying gently with the rhythm of youth, the stars in their eyes shining brightly. The storage room held all our leftover belongings in uniform custody. Every corner, big and small, was filled with stacks of books of varying heights, interspersed with numerous test papers. I walked over to my stack of books. This prized spot had been mine for 3 years. As I prepared to gather them to take home, I noticed an inexplicably thick blue notebook among them. It bore my name, but the handwriting wasn't mine. Puzzled, I picked up the notebook and glanced around. Everyone nearby was an unfamiliar classmate packing their things. Baffled, I opened the notebook to look for a signature. There's nothing at all, just something odd, with a tiny K left in the bottom right corner and a plane drawn beside it. With doubts in my heart, I turned to the first page. September 2nd, 2018. Sunny. Sunday. First day of high school registration. The summer wind was wild and unruly, blowing my hair into something resembling a bean sprout. As for me, no need to elaborate. Carrying heavy luggage, I looked just like a wilted cabbage under the sun. The teacher assigned diary writing to practice essay ideas, but I don't know what to write about. Let me jot down something interesting that happened today. It was quite amusing. My quilt was mistakenly taken by someone else. I watched helplessly as a girl walked off with my quilt in her arms. Since the school issues uniform bedding sets, it's no wonder she got them mixed up. Sigh. I stared at the diary's first page, lost in thought. The registration day was unbearably hot. My whole head was buzzing, and all I wanted was to hide in the shade and laze around. My dad told me to hurry up and take the quilt upstairs. Irritated beyond measure, I randomly grabbed the nearest quilt and ran off. At night, when I went back and lifted the sheet to tuck in the corners, I found it wasn't my familiar Ultraman blanket but a very plain, solid-colored one. I was shocked and rummaged through the bed and cabinets but couldn't find my blanket. There was only one truth. I must have taken the wrong one. I tried hard to recall that day's memory, but it was already very hazy. All I remembered was that I had taken someone else's blanket. What happened next? Well, it seems we just went with it, and that arrangement lasted for 3 whole years. I remember that quilt being incredibly comfortable, soft and fragrant, so much so that I thought I might have accidentally taken a girl's. Only now do I realize I had actually swapped quilts with the boy who wrote this diary. I can only wonder how he reacted when he saw my Ultraman quilt. My wild guess is he must have loved it. After all, what boy could resist an Ultraman quilt? I was amused by his complaints and covered my lips as I looked down. September 3rd, 2018. Sunny. Monday. First official day of school. After much hesitation last night, I still didn't dare to use that blanket. I'm not quite used to it. Didn't sleep well. Feeling so sleepy during the flag-raising ceremony. I saw the back of the person who took my blanket yesterday. It was that petite girl. The flag-raising ground was crowded. I tried hard to push through the crowd to find her. Finally managed to squeeze through. But she ran away. No way. I really don't want to cover myself with an Ultraman blanket. Sigh. Pfft. Reading this made me burst out laughing. I thought everyone liked Ultraman as much as I do, but he actually doesn't cover himself with it. Such poor taste. Bad review. That quilt should be really comfortable to sleep under. My mom personally bought the cotton and stuffed and sewed it for me. Besides, during the 3 years of high school, every Monday we had to attend the flag-raising ceremony before we could go for breakfast. With the entire school rushing to the cafeteria at the same time, it was very easy to miss out on food. So every time after the flag-raising, I would sprint to the cafeteria. It's no wonder he couldn't find me. He has no experience with eating at all. Definitely a top student. Us foodie slackers run fast. Can't blame him. The vast archive room was left with only me. The old electric fan spinning leisurely. The window also open. It was nearly 7, and the sky was still bright. The setting sun shone through the window into the room, casting a golden glow on the books. I turned to the next page, fingers brushing against the paper. The sound of flipping pages echoing in the archive room. September 4th, 2018. Sunny Tuesday. Sigh. I've given up looking for the girl who took my blanket. During yesterday afternoon's military training, I didn't see her. I slept uneasily under my Ultraman blanket. That was the first time I'd ever used a girl's blanket, and the faint fragrance felt completely out of place with a guy like me. Besides, it doesn't seem appropriate to return it now. I can't possibly let her use a blanket that's been slept under by a guy like me. I'm torn. Also, the school food is just awful. But I saw her this morning. She's in class 22. The strange encounter made me unable to stop secretly staring at her. How can she not even know how to dress properly? Sigh. I silently stared at this page. My memory drifted back to high school military training when our school was under strict lockdown, and we couldn't leave at will. Back then, the training pants were way too big, and since I didn't have a belt, I had to make do with tying them up with a piece of rope. I remember the training days were all scorching hot, around 30 degrees Celsius, and I felt like I was on the verge of passing out. Every day, I'd just hastily fasten my uniform buttons. Back then, when my dad came to the school gate to bring me something, he even teased me for looking like a puppet soldier of the Imperial Army. Turns out, in others' eyes, that outfit of mine really did resemble a Japanese soldier. I leaned lightly against the desk in the records room, picked up that diary, and continued flipping through it, while the fan still creaked and spun lazily. September 7th, 2018. Cloudy. Friday. Strangely enough, After that, I kept running into the girl who took my quilt. I still didn't know her name. For now, let's call her Classmate Quilt. Classmate Quilt seemed quite lively. I saw her being pulled out by their drill instructor to practice marching again this morning. Seems like she was caught slouching and being lazy. It's already the last day of military training, and tonight is the talent show for the entire grade. Many people volunteered to go on stage and perform. The instructor said I was handsome and asked me to go. I was too embarrassed, so I didn't go. What I didn't expect was Classmate Quilt performed a show. She sang a song, Short Letter, Long Affection. Seems like that's the name. Sounds quite nice. I'll go listen to it when I get home this week. Paper short, love long. I squinted my eyes, the melody of this song spinning in my mind, thinking back carefully to that summer of 2018. That summer, this song inexplicably became incredibly popular. The lyrics touched my heart with their delicacy, and I memorized both the words and melody early on, just waiting for an opportunity to showcase myself during military training. But I can't remember if I actually sang it during training. I never expected someone would write about me singing in their diary, and I couldn't help but feel a strange, almost shy emotion rising in my heart. Really, shy and strange. I gathered my thoughts and forced myself to keep reading. September 8th, 2018. Light rain. Saturday. Classmate Quilt's classroom is on the 4th floor, while mine is on the 1st. Quite a distance. I want to get to know her. But how should I start the conversation? Classmate, you took the wrong blanket. I'm currently using your Ultraman one. This doesn't seem quite appropriate, so maybe I should just let it go. Damn. Have I not interacted much with girls before? Or maybe I'm just not used to it. Why not ask my buddy? Yeah, right. Let's ask first. First impressions are pretty important. Our school assigns classes based on middle school exam scores, with a total of 24 classes. Classes 1 to 2 are ranked from highest to lowest scores. My middle school exam score was only 3 points above this key high school's admission cutoff. I could only be assigned to class 22, and the classroom was on the 4th floor, so I could never outrun others when it was time for meals. The person writing this diary is on the 1st floor, which suggests this boy must be doing quite well in his studies. My curiosity grew stronger and stronger. Who on earth could this person be? I flipped the page with my fingers, turning to another one. September 13th, 2018. Sunny. Thursday. I was chosen as the math class representative. Why did this happen? Do I naturally look like someone who's good at math? I went to the office to submit my homework and saw the sign-up sheets for each class's welcome party on the desk. Class 22. Letitia. The Red Dustin. Letitia. That name sounds so familiar. Suddenly, a memory from registration day flashed through my mind. Classmate Quilt, that seems to be the name. I heard her dad telling her to quickly grab the quilt and go up. Is she performing in a show? I should have joined too. As I translate here, memories of the past seem to have their floodgates unlocked by a key, rushing towards me like a tidal wave. I'm someone who seizes every opportunity to try new things. With high school activities being scarce to begin with, I would definitely jump at any chance to experience something different. Worldly Tavern is my favorite song. It also contains lyrics that I adore. Let the martial world vie for glory. Yet I bow only to you. I found myself humming the tune softly. September 17th, 2018. Sunny. Monday. This Friday is the welcome party, and then we can enjoy the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday. I didn't do well on last week's test, so I frantically worked through a set of practice problems. Haven't seen classmate Quilt lately. This morning, I saw her class's balcony on the opposite teaching building. She was leaning on the railing eating breakfast. Reading his diary always brings back certain images to me, as if my past 3 years were starting all over again. The steps I walked, the barely edible cafeteria food, the wisteria-covered corridors I passed through, all are becoming clearer bit by bit. Our high school schedule was very tight, so for 3 years, I would usually buy breakfast at the cafeteria first and then take it to the balcony outside the classroom to eat, where I could also lean on the railing and enjoy the view of the opposite teaching building. Our grade had 2 separate buildings, connected by a covered walkway with an LED display screen in the middle. From the balcony of our classroom, you can see the corridor outside the opposite classroom. I often lean on the balcony to watch my childhood friend from class 17 on the 3rd floor being scolded by their homeroom teacher. Having stood for a while, I pulled out a chair from the materials room, dusted it off, and sat down to continue flipping through the pages. September 20th, 2018. Sunny. Thursday. This afternoon is the rehearsal for the welcome party. My roommate volunteered to be the errand boy moving stuff just to check out the girls, and even tried to drag me along. I didn't want to go originally, but the homeroom teacher pulled me aside to prepare for the math competition. But my roommate calculated for me. This time there's a 100% chance I'll get to see classmate Quilt. Then, I must go. Fortunately, she sings quite well, so it wasn't a wasted trip. September 21st, 2018. Sunny. Friday. The freshman welcoming party has arrived. We, the movers, wait for work in the background. Classmate Quilt stares at the lyrics in the background. Through that transparent glass window, I saw her slightly trembling eyelashes. A red dress, with 2 extra braids woven in. I didn't dare to keep looking, afraid she might notice. This kind of classmate Quilt is unexpectedly quite adorable. The performance went smoothly, and someone even asked me halfway if I knew her. Does she have an IG? I don't have any. Damn it. Going to sleep. I stared at the memory and fell back into reminiscence. He must be the male classmate who helped me with the standing microphone. It's a pity I was too nervous at the time. I didn't understand the courage and bitterness behind his stepping onto the stage. Was each step he took actually bringing him closer to me? I was indeed wearing a red dress that day, though I can't remember what hairstyle I had. Fortunately, my friend recorded a video of me at that moment. The video file is still in my phone. I took out my phone, my fingers trembling so much that I kept tapping the wrong apps. Finally, I found that video. Perhaps because it was from a long time ago, the video quality wasn't very good. I fast-forwarded to the part where I went on stage. My heart skipped a beat for a moment, but my anticipation couldn't be stopped. On the screen was a tall, slender boy in a school uniform adjusting the standing microphone with his back to the camera. After finishing the adjustment, he quickly ran off stage. His face wasn't captured in the video. It was hard to tell whether it was disappointment or nervousness. But the sultry evening breeze began to stir, and the bustling sounds of the campus gradually faded, with only the occasional student carrying books passing by. My fingers moved with the wind, turning another page. I took a deep breath, slowly calming my thoughts, and quietly continued reading his diary. September 24th, 2018. Cloudy. Monday. Today is the Mid-Autumn Festival. At home, my mom sent me out to buy groceries. Went to the newly opened supermarket on Cross Street. It's so crowded. I saw classmate Quilt. Does she live nearby too? She seems to really love eating potato chips. I noticed her shopping cart was full of potato chips. Well, happy Mid-Autumn Festival. The newly opened supermarket on Cross Street is a bit cheaper than other places, so my dad always takes me there to buy groceries. And every time I would sneak potato chips into the shopping cart when he wasn't looking. September 25th, 2018. Cloudy. Tuesday. I had to go to school early this morning. I took the bus to school. My stop is called Wangyue Jingyuan Westgate. It's 4 stops from school. And still quite early. The bus is full of elderly ladies and gentlemen, with no empty seats left. So I'm just standing on the bus, holding on to the handrail. After just 1 stop, classmate Quilt got on the bus. She stood next to me but didn't hold on to the handrail properly. She almost fell, but I caught her. Well, time to sleep. Good night. In the archives room, I stared blankly at this page. His home is 4 stops from the school, while mine is 3 stops away. We probably both take the No. 15 bus. The terminal stop of bus route 15 is City No. 1 High School. Thinking about the numerous times our paths had crossed in time and space without me ever knowing who he was, I felt an increasingly urgent desire to meet him. As dusk was falling, on my way back, I stood under the familiar bus stop sign waiting for the bus. Under the dim glow of the streetlights, I couldn't resist opening that diary once again. November 24th, 2018. Cloudy. Saturday. So, why is it that when I opened my notebook today, all the main and underlying themes in my diary were writing about classmate Quilt? Am I going crazy? I inexplicably followed her off the bus for no reason. Try the cucumber-flavored chips she likes to eat. Can't help but prepare holiday gifts for her. Ronald. You're done for. November 26th, 2018. Cloudy. Monday. What counts as liking someone? Is this liking? So torn. November 27th, 2018. Cloudy. Tuesday. The results are out. On the homeroom teacher's computer, you can see the rankings for the entire grade. The office was packed to the brim. My fingers glided over the grade sheet. Ronald. Grade 13. Lower than I imagined. I continued scrolling down. Letitia. Grade 1103. Physics. 18. Chemistry. 32. Biology. 55. Classmate Quilt not good at science subjects. The passion in my bones makes me want to rush down and explain the problems to her. But I'm afraid she'll think I'm crazy. Sigh. How can I break this deadlock? Under the streetlight, the elegant handwriting on the white paper left me utterly stunned. A faint, shadowy figure of a boy with his back turned to me appeared in my mind. I really want to know who he is. Curiosity, multiplied by curiosity. However, his diary also reminded me of the painful experience of being a poor student before the division into arts and science streams in high school. Before the division into arts and science streams in our second year of high school, we took a comprehensive assessment exam covering all subjects. In that physics exam, I scored 18 points. I will never forget the feeling of being struck by lightning when I found out my physics score. I didn't even dare to look at the grade ranking. Among the 1,260 students in my grade, I was already near the bottom. When classmates tried to comfort me, I brushed it off casually, saying I deserved my 18th place ranking because I always dozed off in physics, chemistry, and biology classes. Besides, since middle school, these logic-heavy subjects have been my weak points. I acted like I didn't care, but how could I really not care? I didn't want to disappoint my parents either. During that time, I was caught in extreme inner conflict. One moment filled with self-doubt, the next trying to console myself. It was truly painful, and so lonely. I never imagined that at my lowest point, a boy would see right through my pretenses. He also took the trouble to try to help me in his own way. November 28th, 2018. Sunny. Wednesday. Answer sheets from the entire grade were chaotically mixed together. All 24 classes took turns sorting out the answer sheets and distributing them to each class. This is the first major exam. Our class was the first to start. I originally didn't want to distribute the answer sheets. In the end, I still went to distribute them. From class 22, the first major physics problem could actually be solved by just plugging into a formula. Wrote the analysis for each question on her answer sheet. Hope you can see it. Letitia. Rumble. Rumble. The old-fashioned bus approached the roadside sign along the nearly empty road. Dazed. I boarded bus no. 15. The mystery was finally solved. It turns out he was the top student who wrote detailed explanations and even problem-solving approaches in red ink next to my answers on all my physics answer sheets throughout my entire first year of high school. His patient explanations and handwriting accompanied me through every night I felt crushed by exam results, giving me the confidence to keep going. I took a deep breath and exhaled slowly. There were still many empty seats scattered on the bus, and I sat in my familiar spot by the window, leaning against the faint glow of the bus lights and the fleeting street lamps rushing past. I continued reading further back, feeling a growing ache in my heart. November 29th, 2018. Light snow Thursday. They say the first snow is the best time to reveal love. I spent the whole day flipping through my diary. Classmate Quilt. It's snowing. I think I should admit that I like you. My hand flipping through the diary suddenly stopped. My breath caught, and my eyes began to sting. I always felt that in my gloomy youth. An unremarkable ponytail. A face so ordinary it couldn't be more ordinary, with occasional pimples on my cheeks, and the oversized school uniform hid all my radiance. I thought no one would like someone like me. Insecurity filled my entire youth. Turns out, someone could still like my ordinary youth. December 7th, 2018. Heavy snow. Friday. Parent-teacher conference today. Saw you secretly leaning on the railing crying. Don't cry. I'll write it out in more detail for you. You'll definitely get it right next time. December 24th, 2018. Light snow Monday. Today is Christmas Eve. I arrived very early in the morning. I left an apple on your desk. Classmate Quilt, stay safe and sound. December 25th, 2018. Light snow. Tuesday. Merry Christmas. Forgive me for not daring to say it to you in person. December 29th, 2018. Cloudy. Saturday. I can't help but keep looking at your class balcony from the hallway when you're having breakfast. Actually, you can see me just by looking down. You can see me every time. January 1st, 2019. Sunny. Tuesday. Classmate Quilt. Happy New Year. Don't cry alone secretly anymore in 2019. I suddenly felt my heart touched while sitting on the bus. Feeling so suffocated I can barely breathe. I can't wait to look back. January 3rd, 2019. Sunny. Thursday. You got braces. Don't be afraid to laugh. It's not ugly at all. Forget it. Even if I write it, you won't see it. January 15th, 2019. Sunny Tuesday. Today we met at the stairway corner. I feel inexplicably nervous when I see you. I lower my head and hurry past you. You don't notice me. If you turned around, you'll find me watching you. A few teardrops seem to have fallen on the diary. I hurriedly wipe them away. I try to dry the tears on my face, but they just won't stop. January 18th, 2019. Cloudy. Friday. It's our class's turn for duty next week. I've signed up for evening self-study duty. I'll get to see you every day next week. Good night. My classmate Quilt. I passed by your class and saw you sitting in the last row. You were looking down, seemingly working on math problems. Very focused. Keep it up. The duty week will be over tomorrow. No more chances to sneak a peek at you by the back door. I can only pretend to pass by your classroom window casually. What about you? Can you see the surging waves of my affection? January 26th, 2019. Sunny. Saturday. Last week was exam week. Classmate Quilt studied very hard. You should get good grades. Don't worry too much. The winter vacation is coming soon. Long days. I don't have your contact information. I don't dare to disturb you. You shouldn't be troubled by my affection. January 28th, 2019. Sunny. Monday. My classmate Quilt. Happy little New Year. Happy winter vacation. February 1st, 2019. Cloudy. Friday. It feels like ages since I last saw you. Today is the 27th day of the 12th lunar month. I tried my luck at the supermarket. Didn't run into you. Bought some potato chips. It's the flavor you like. February 4th, 2019. Light snow Monday. Today is New Year's Eve. The lights are dimming. The fireworks. Time to perfection. Herald the chime of the new year. How I wish I could personally wish you a Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Classmate Quilt. Classmate Quilt. The ground was strewn with sixpence. Yet I looked up and saw the moon. Holding my notebook. Tears soaked the page of handwriting. As I cried, I wiped the diary page dry while hastily getting off the bus. Under the bus stop sign near my home, I crouched there wiping away tears. In a daze, it seemed as if I saw someone standing there long ago, waiting for my arrival. If I had looked back then, would I have seen his affection? I crouched under the bus stop sign, leaning against the streetlight and the glow from the shops still open at night. Flipping further back. February 11th, 2019. Sunny. Monday. School started today. Passing by your classroom. You're copying the winter vacation homework. Sigh. Were you also staying up late the night before to finish your homework? I suddenly burst out laughing at this point. Tears still hanging on my face. And a snot bubble popped out. I never did my homework properly during winter or summer vacations. I always started cramming the day before school began, pulling all-nighters to catch up on assignments, driving up the electricity bill. For the ones without answers, I'd just copy them at school. Now that I've graduated, I never have to pull all-nighters to finish winter break homework again. February 14th, 2019. Sunny. Thursday. I've been seeing a lot of couples at school lately. Today is Valentine's Day. My friend confessed to the girl he likes. I don't dare to. I don't even have the courage to ask for your IG. Day after day, I'm crushed by the setting sun. Classmate Quilt. Can my feelings see the sunlight? Can I tell you? Annoyed that the homeroom teacher asked me to organize student records. I also helped class 22 with theirs while I was at it. Oh, your birthday is March 13th. Counting the days. Isn't your birthday coming up soon? My birthday is indeed March 13th, as shown on my ID card. So he went through our entire class's records just to find out my birthday. February 28th, 2019. Sunny. Thursday. I saw you during the morning run. You were in the last row. Everyone around you was taller than you. You were bouncing around, hiding among them. Be careful and don't trip. Well, I don't like squeezing to the front during running exercises. I prefer slacking off in the last row, running in the back row, shielded by the taller classmates. No one can see me not following the commands. It's really comfortable running like this. March 13th, 2019. Sunny. Wednesday. Happy 16th birthday. I really hope to tell you in person someday. March 20th, 2019. Cloudy. Wednesday. The honor roll downstairs displays photos of the top 3 students from each class. Our class has too many talented people. It's a bit difficult to make it into the top 3, but I still hope one day when you pass by. I saw my chance. So this time, I made it into the midterm rankings. Will you notice me? There's a bulletin board at the bottom of our high school building where they post the photos. names, and classes of students who perform well in exams. With such excellent academic performance, he must be a regular on the honor roll. I thought of something and flipped back to find his name mentioned in his diary. Ronald, ranked 13th in the grade. I traced my fingers over the name on the paper. Such a familiar name. Recalling through hazy memories, I suddenly remembered a conversation. One day while passing by the teaching building with my friend Annie, we were so bored that we went to look at the honor roll. Annie pointed at someone on the board and said, "Wow, look at him. He's so good at studying, and quite handsome too." Following her finger, I saw a fair-skinned boy with black-framed glasses, exuding a scholarly air, who seemed to have a very gentle temperament, standing out among a crowd of top students. I nodded frantically in agreement at the time, feeling nothing but envy, without giving it much thought. In my mind, such a godlike person would have no connection with me. We were on the 4th floor and the 1st floor respectively. The score was nearly 1,000 places apart. It was an insurmountable chasm, a distance I couldn't possibly dare to dream of. A face already etched in my memory was thus recalled. My heart was pounding, and my face felt inexplicably hot. I wiped away my tears and continued reading. April 1st, 2019. Sunny. Monday. Today is April Fool's Day. The Chinese teacher explained a term called xuanxiang, imagining or fantasizing. In ancient times, when a husband missed his wife, he would express it through poetry. The wife at home would miss her husband. It's like saying, "I miss you." I won't say I miss you, but I will say you miss me. You miss me. April 8th, 2019. Sunny. Monday. It seems the sports meet will be held in early May. The art teacher will select many students to prepare for the opening ceremony performance. I noticed you were chosen to dance. Don't skip meals just because you have to dance. You have rehearsals every afternoon during mealtime. Make sure to remember to eat. The opening ceremony requires flag bearers. I can rehearse with you every afternoon. I hesitated several times but still signed up. See you tomorrow afternoon. My classmate Quilt. You dance really well. I was too busy staring at you. Accidentally stepped on the guy in front of me. April 28th, 2019. Cloudy Sunday. The opening ceremony was moved up. I'm wearing a military uniform. The guy in front said I look super handsome. I wonder if you've noticed me. I saw you. You put on makeup. Wore a performance dress. So beautiful. How can I tell you how dazzling you are? I carefully moved next to you, and you quietly asked your classmate which class the tallest boy was in. You're such a top student genius. I mentioned it to you the other day. Fortunately, when you chat with classmates, they've talked about my existence, on the path to becoming better. The crowd keeps pushing me toward you time and again. There will be traces left, right? The one with the best grades in 3 years of high school is called Ronald. The tallest one is called Ronald. The one who likes classmate Quilt the most is also called Ronald. April 29th, 2019. Sunny. Monday. Today is the sports day. I remember when I went to the teacher's office to check. You didn't sign up. Why did you suddenly join the relay race? I saw you preparing backstage at our class tent. Borrowed a camera. Pretended to be a photographer and ran with you till the end. Forgive me for not being like others. Boldly running alongside you to the end. Could only pretend to take photos. The tears I'd just wiped away welled up again in that instant. Unstoppable no matter how I tried. Crying uncontrollably. So it was him again. On that scorching afternoon, the rubber red track emitted a burnt smell under the sunlight. With my race number pinned to my chest. I had never been good at sports since childhood. I hadn't signed up initially. But a girl in my class sprained her ankle that day, so I had to step in as a last-minute replacement. I stood at the starting line with a grimace, ready to go. At the sound of the starting gun, I took off like a shot, feeling like I was about to die. While running, everything around me seemed to disappear. Only the track ahead and the wind howling in my ears remained. I was running in the middle when I completely ran out of energy, and I heard a male voice say, "Keep going." It felt as if it was right beside me. Gritting my teeth, I finally made it through. The voice I heard at that moment was probably his. I cover my face with both hands, wiping away the tears. In those fearless, passionate years, someone quietly stayed by my side for so long. June 1st, 2019. Sunny. Saturday. Letitia, little one. Happy Children's Day. June 4th, 2019 is sunny Tuesday. Today, the senior high school students were liberated, tearing up books on the teaching building. The fluttering scraps of paper drift through the air. I grabbed a handful. It was their vanished youth. And what of ours? The principal scolded us harshly and put a stop to it. Watching them, it seemed they graduated in the blink of an eye. Will these 3 years of ours also pass quickly? So quickly that they end before we truly get to know each other. Life is about subtraction. Each meeting is one less. Classmate Quilt. I've seen you many times, but you've never seen me. In this memory, only I know you. Only I am the one playing this entire memoir. I really want to read my favorite parts to you with my eyes closed. I curl up in the corner, eyes shut, delicately tracing the marks on the paper with my fingers. Classmate Lee, I've heard your affection. June 19th, 2019. Sunny. Wednesday. I ran into you on the street. I'm used to seeing you in your school uniform. Well, you look beautiful no matter what. The bookstore you went to is one I frequent as well. I wish I had met you sooner. That bookshop opened right across from my junior high school. The place was tiny, but the owner was handsome and refined. Back then, we'd all squeeze into the shop just to steal a glance or two at him. His wife is also very elegant and gentle, and the two make a perfect match. Even in high school, I would still tirelessly take the No. 15 bus for 12 stops to go there and buy books. During my high school years, I would use buying books as an excuse to go out and have fun every weekend. Each time, I would only buy one copy of the Ming Dynasty's stories, because I couldn't afford to buy the whole set at once. So I saved up my weekly allowance to buy them gradually. That's how I managed to collect the entire set. 9 volumes. Piece by piece. They're still sitting on my bookshelf at home. July 22nd, 2019. Sunny. Monday. Today is the final exam. I'm lending you all my luck. Placement test classmate Quilt, you'll definitely do well. Don't be afraid. July 26th, 2019. Sunny. Friday. I've been practicing calligraphy lately. Now looking back at my previous diary entries, the handwriting is so messy. Letitia. The handwriting that wrote my name in the diary is bold and powerful. I accidentally flipped to the back of my diary. A whole page filled with my name, big and small. Some in cursive. Some neatly written. I looked up at the moon. My vision blurred. The moon seems to be crying with me too. August 20th, 2019. Sunny. Monday. I saw you on the honor roll. I took a photo with my camera. Adorably cute. I don't wish for you to be dazzlingly brilliant. Just happy every day. Safe and sound is enough. This page of the diary has a photo tucked inside. I pick it up. It's a photo of me on the honor roll. Because the glass partition was still a bit blurry. Written on the back of the photo. August 20th, 2019. Classmate Quilt commemorates the first time making it onto the honor roll. In the photo, I'm pursing my lips to hold back a laugh. When I found out I was going to be on the honor roll, I couldn't hide my smile. Any pretense of modesty was fake. Only those who frequently make the honor roll are indifferent to such things. For someone like me, who hadn't seen such glory in ages and only managed to score well by a sudden stroke of luck, making it onto the honor roll was truly the highest honor. You could feel my joy radiating from the photo. I held that photo tightly in my hand. Tears welled up amidst the laughter. He never missed a single important moment of my youth. He exhausted every effort to seek me out, to discover me. But what about me? Did I ever notice the passers-by? Did I look up at the fourth floor? Did I ever realize his affection? August 23, 2019. Sunny. Monday. Today, the new first-year high school students came for military training. While solving math problems, I suddenly thought of you in a daze. That afternoon, singing calmly amidst the crowd. Back then, every class in our grade was preparing for a patriotic red song competition. Our class was recently selecting songs. The homeroom teacher assigned me to do the recitation. I politely declined. I'm quite introverted. It's a long-standing tradition at our school. Every sophomore class holds a red song competition, which is quite a grand event. Both the homeroom teacher and the dean take it very seriously. Once again, I took advantage of my position. I looked at your class's performance list. Your class ultimately chose Night at the Naval Port. Neither the recitation nor the lead singing had you. It's fine. Among so many people, I could spot you at a glance. Our class, being a humanities track, had too few boys to sing those grand, majestic songs, so we ended up choosing this one. Those days involuntarily came to mind. September 15, 2019. Cloudy. Sunday. Joint rehearsal for all classes in the grade. Finally saw you. But why? Singing competition. Will you be dancing alongside? With tears still wet on my face, I crouched under the streetlight and suddenly burst into laughter. When it comes to singing, I just muddle through with pop songs. When it's time to show real skill, I'm definitely no match for others. During that singing competition, our class chose a song with a short interlude in the middle, perfect for adding a little dance to spice it up. In the end, by some twist of fate, I ended up being the backup dancer. The entire performance lasted about 5 or 6 minutes, and I was on stage for less than 30 or 40 seconds. Unexpectedly, he noticed it too. September 27, 2019. Cloudy. Friday. Today is the official performance. Waiting backstage. Our whole class is dressed in military uniforms. I see you. You're wearing ballet shoes, a blue dress, hair down, wearing makeup on the face. There's something sparkling near the eyes. When you're jumping around backstage, can you feel my gaze? The performance went smoothly. I rushed to the audience seats. I took photos for you. Luckily made it in time. After the show, school was over, and suddenly a light rain started. I saw you without an umbrella, pitifully crouching under the bus stop sign. I only felt my head pounding with blood. I rushed towards you, taking off my school jacket, clutching it in my hand, and stood by your side, but lacked the courage to give it to you. I'm sorry. No need to apologize. Ronald. Shaking my head and crying, I choked out his name, saying there was no need to apologize. I remember that boy who stayed with me in the rain for half a day, and the reassuring figure walking slightly ahead of me. I've always remembered. An indescribable bitterness lingers in my throat, impossible to swallow. The taut string was plucked harshly once more. October 10, 2019. Cloudy. Thursday. It's been a long time since I last saw you. Forcing myself to stay busy. In the midst of chaos, thoughts of you resurface. Classmate quilt. What should I do with you? When did you start occupying my entire youth? Always wanting to pick up a pen and write something. Words fail to convey the meaning. How can I tell you? And in what capacity? November 1st, 2019. Sunny. Friday. Today. A junior girl secretly slipped a love letter onto my desk. All I could think was how brave she is. To openly confess one's feelings to someone they like. I wouldn't dare. The teacher had long forgotten to collect the diaries. Flipping through the diary in a daze. So much has been written already. What about you? Will you ever know? November 15th, 2019. Cloudy. Friday. Sometimes I feel I've grown accustomed to it. Accustomed to checking if you're on the fourth floor balcony across the hallway. I've grown accustomed to pretending to pass by. Stealing glances of you through your classroom window. I've grown accustomed to searching for your figure at the Moonlight Community Stop under the street signs. I've grown accustomed to looking around after school, hoping to catch a glimpse of your back. I've grown accustomed to capturing every moment of you with my camera. I've grown accustomed to freezing at the sound of your name. I've grown used to loving you. How can I ever tell you these things? I couldn't hold it in anymore, crouching under the streetlight. I burst into uncontrollable sobs. Suddenly it hit me that I might never encounter such feelings or such a person ever again. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Why didn't we realize it sooner? We could have met at every single moment. November 22nd, 2019. Heavy snow. Friday. Today is the first snow of 2019. The first snow last year. I admit in my diary that I like you. The first snow this year. I still like you. The school's winter cross-country race. I never really wanted to participate in such events before. But this time I signed up. I don't know why. Maybe. I still want you to notice me. So actually, is it? In every moment I like you. I'm also becoming a better version of myself. I remember that year's winter cross-country race. It's just that I happened to have a cold during those days and didn't go to watch. I was sleeping in the classroom. Annie said the champion this time turned out to be from class 1. Half asleep. I could still hear everyone discussing. Saying how could someone be so good at studying sports and still be so handsome. At the time, I was thinking, there's no such person. What a joke. After all this time, it's Ronald again. He's been using his little tricks to try to make an impression on me. The sweetness after the bitterness left me somewhat at a loss. I took a moment to collect myself before continuing to flip through the diary. December 2nd, 2019, sunny Monday. Went to the winter camp. Be good at school. Even if you wake up late. Remember to eat breakfast. Don't sit in the classroom without eating in the afternoon. Yes. No matter how much you write, you still won't see it. December 25th, 2019. Light snow. Wednesday. Classmate quilt. Merry Christmas. I hope one day I can tell you in person. January 23rd, 2020. Sunny. Thursday. Suddenly woke up from sleep. Cases have emerged across the country. Our province also has suspected cases now. News is flooding the internet. Some people say it's not a big deal and not contagious. I think it's quite similar to SARS. It might even be more severe. You should be careful. January 24th, 2020. Sunny. Friday. Today is New Year's Eve. Every household rushed out wearing masks to stock up on supplies. I waited in the supermarket for a long time. I didn't see you. It's okay. Staying at home is the safest at this critical moment. January 25th, 2020, sunny Saturday. Although such a thing suddenly happened during this year's New Year. Still, be happy. Don't secretly have emotional breakdowns at night. Classmate quilt. Happy New Year. I stared at the diary. transported back to the year when the pandemic broke out. At first, most people didn't take it seriously. You could actually see some videos about it on certain websites as early as the beginning of January. Later, when the outbreak escalated, panic set in. Looking back, those days felt like complete chaos. No one knew what tomorrow would bring. Every day, I nervously opened my phone to check the epidemic map. In the early hours of January 23, 2020, Wuhan was locked down. What followed was a nationwide stay-at-home policy. United as one, we all obediently stayed at home. Cooperate with the national epidemic prevention efforts. The entire country seemed to have hit the pause button. Yet during those days of the pandemic, acts of kindness and warmth unfolded daily. We huddled together for warmth, collectively anticipating the day the pandemic would end. Looking back now, it feels like a lifetime ago. So much time has already passed. February 3, 2020, sunny Monday. Because of the pandemic, the originally scheduled school opening today has been postponed. The school later decided to switch to online classes. The entire grade had Chinese and English classes together. I found your name among over 1,000 people. Sometimes it's quite frustrating. Why aren't we in the same class? At least there are online classes. We can still be together. It feels like online classes have lasted forever. Will you forget what I look like? March 13, 2020, cloudy Friday. Classmate quilt. Happy 17th birthday. March 20th, 2020. Cloudy. Thursday. The pandemic situation has improved a lot. Went to the street today to buy some materials. Met you at that bookstore. The space is very cramped. There are only 3 rows of bookshelves, 2 aisles. We are facing one bookshelf. Between the pages of the book, I catch a glimpse of your face. You're selecting papers. Seemingly hesitant. I picked one that suits you. Don't know how to tell you. Pulled out that book in front of you and ran to check out. You saw me buy this and followed suit. Relieved. This suits your current stage the best. After buying the book, I just watched you walk further and further away from me. It seems like many times. It's been like this. Liking someone truly is a long and arduous journey. May 5th, 2020. Cloudy. Tuesday. During tonight's self-study session, the homeroom teacher played a movie in the classroom. I stood in the corridor, leaning against the railing, and from this angle, I could just see you crouching on the balcony, crying. Did someone bully you? Couldn't solve the math problem. Sometimes I feel that guessing your thoughts is harder than the last question on the final math exam. This problem has no solution. Deeply troubled and worried. It disturbs my peace of mind. I folded the draft paper in my hand into a paper airplane and sent it flying in your direction. I returned to the classroom, not daring to look, afraid the wind hadn't carried my affection to you. Classmate quilt. Perhaps you've picked up the paper airplane. Right. I caught it. Classmate Lee. The paper airplane that flew over is firmly in my grasp. See. I've caught your affection. A worn-out notebook. Simple words. Describing over and over again how you think of me. Miss me. Like me. June 1st, 2020. Sunny. Monday. Letitia little one. Happy Children's Day. June 7th, 2020. Cloudy. Sunday. The college entrance exam was postponed to July due to the pandemic. I wonder when the pandemic will end. Our 2 classes have PE at the same time this semester. I often see you lying on the grass sleeping. I also watch while playing ball. They say I'm absent-minded. Played ball on the court this afternoon. Saw you wandering around outside the court. I don't know if you'll see me, though there are so many people playing basketball. I saw you coming over. I didn't dare to look at you again. After scoring, I instinctively looked for you. Didn't see you. Actually felt a bit disappointed. June 30th, 2020 Sunny, Tuesday. The seniors are organizing a flea market. The teaching plaza is packed with people. I didn't go down to take a look, but I saw you from the balcony. Every time in a crowded place, I instinctively search for your figure. Sometimes I feel like I'm sick. People passing by would glance at me curiously, then slowly turned back and walked away. Perhaps they didn't understand either. Why on this night after the college entrance exams? This night when everyone was celebrating. I was wearing my school uniform, crouching under the bus stop sign, crying until the sky turned dark. After crying for a while, I picked up my notebook, stood up, and walked home while still sobbing. This tree-lined path, which I've walked from elementary school through high school, remained silent, as if even the wind was reluctant to speak. All was quiet, only the moon wiping its tears. When I got home, my father looked at my disheveled state in surprise, while my mother poked her head out from the kitchen at the sound, still holding a dishcloth and wearing an apron. They didn't ask what had happened. They just watched as I cried my way back to the bedroom. Just like in countless moments of breakdown from childhood to adulthood, they would also remain silent like this. Then place a steaming cup of milk on the table. I sit in my bedroom, the diary spread open on the desk. I don't even have the courage to open and read it again. I feel like a general whose reinforcements arrived too late, gazing at the battlefield strewn with the remnants of soldiers, powerless to do anything. What should I do? What should I do? We have already graduated. Is there no longer any possibility of us crossing paths again? I don't know. July 7th, 2020. Sunny. Tuesday. Today is the college entrance exam. Next year it will be our turn. Are you afraid? I did this year's college entrance exam questions. Sometimes it's actually quite helpless. Many things I'm not qualified to decide. It's clearly my life. Yet I'm not the one calling the shots. Sometimes it's really hard to understand. Why? In such a small city, I just can't seem to run into you around the corner. August 20th, 2020 Sunny, Thursday. Today, I finally got a rare chance to catch my breath from the usual grind. Had a chat with a friend. He said he has someone he likes. He said old-fashioned people like me wouldn't understand his feelings. I said I understand. He was shocked. He said I hide too deeply. Usually, all they see is me writing with my head down. And besides that, I just walk to the corridor to look out the window. Even when playing basketball, it's only at fixed times. I didn't explain. I am inherently a cowardly person. My love is too reserved. How many times I've held back my words. Affection lingers in the corner of my gaze. A tempest rages within. Only dare to write it on paper. My headphones happen to be playing third person, from the perspective of a third person, and also understands the truth. Everyone has flaws. Unconsciously concealing them counts for something. A natural behavior. I only felt dazed, with my hands crossed, as the unceasing cold liquid dripped onto the back of my hands. The suffocating pain left me clueless about what to do next, except for continuously flipping through my diary. September 20th, 2020. Sunny. Sunday. We were already in our final year of high school. Countdown signs for the college entrance exams have recently been put up in every class. The display screens on the teaching buildings also show the countdown. 260 days left until the 2021 college entrance exams. As I stared at them, I began to feel a bit dazed. 260 days later. Will we have to say goodbye then? Cramming for exams against the clock. Racing against time to see you. Back then, our class also had a countdown board for the college entrance exam, and we took turns changing the number according to our student IDs. The board was hung right next to the blackboard. Every day. You could see it just by looking up. Every time I saw it, I felt like I couldn't breathe, as if that sign weighed 1,000 pounds. Every day, lifting my head from the sea of exam questions, the numbers on the sign appeared blurry to my eyes. Looking back, those days were filled with nothing but endless problems to solve. Endless correction books. Endless exams. Red and black pens crisscrossed through my youth, scribbling and marking, leaving their marks. I often tell Annie, I said TV dramas, movies, and novels are all lies. My high school didn't have a handsome desk mate, no skipping class, smoking, or dropping out, nor nights spent speeding down the highway with someone. And of course, that kind of passionate love never happened to me either. All I encountered were endless classes, struggling to get out of bed in the morning, choosing between washing my hair or eating to save time, never-ending hair loss and heavy dark circles, living every day in fear of failing the college entrance exams. This was my youth. Sometimes I mock myself, thinking this utterly ordinary youth of mine will leave nothing to reminisce about, because it's just too plain and unremarkable. The small desk lamp casts its light as I sit there, page after page. Sobs filled the entire night. October 30th, 2020. Cloudy. Friday. Have you been very busy lately? It's been a long time since I last saw you on the balcony. Today, the school handed out the Target University statistics form. I took advantage of my position to look at yours again. Letitia. Target University. C University. I admit it. That evening study session today, I didn't write a single word. My life doesn't allow me to be in charge. Utterly ridiculous. Some memories suddenly came flooding back as I read this. I know what happens next in the story. How could I possibly forget? Ronald was admitted to University B during that winter break through early admission, and the place I'm heading to is University C. It's a world away from there. In my timeline, Ronald is just a distant yet dazzling figure, like two parallel lines in a math problem, never intersecting. I lay on the table, letting tears drown me. We've already missed it. I don't want to look anymore. I closed the diary and hid it in the drawer, turned off the light and buried my head under the blanket, burst into loud sobs. After that, the diary stayed in my drawer. Occasionally, I'd stare blankly at bus no. 15 for a long time. Occasionally.
Sunny. Wednesday. Today is graduation photo day. Finally, I have a chance to take a proper picture of you. You're so beautiful. Many people are taking photos with you. Holding my camera. I hide not far from you. I asked other classmates to help take photos for me. The photo captures your profile. You take up half, and I take up the other half. This is a picture of us together. I pick up the photo tucked in the diary. The boy gazing at my profile with adoration in his eyes. I continued reading further. The camera that day captured many photos of you, all stored within this QR code. I hope one day you'll see yourself through my eyes. Every moment. To me, you are shining. Love has always had the power to overshadow everything. Tears streaming down my face. I scanned the QR code tucked inside the diary with my phone. Opening scene. A boy stands in the afterglow. His back resolute. Dressed in ordinary white shirt and black pants, yet carrying an extraordinary aura. A few seconds later, he speaks. His cool voice striking my ears. Classmate Quilt, are you ready? As his words fall, there's me, unable to stand still at the flag-raising platform, dozing off in class, sneaking breakfast in busy moments, rushing to the cafeteria. That was his entire youth. The video paused for a long time on our photo that wasn't quite a group picture. I felt as if my heart had been grabbed and violently yanked upward, leaving me unable to move. Turns out, when grief reaches its peak, there is no sound. June 6, 2021. Sunny. Sunday. The exam hall will be set up in the afternoon. We need to take all our belongings home in the morning. There are hardly any people left in the school. I haven't left yet. I saw you walking towards the school gate, holding a quilt. Your figure grew farther and farther away from me. I just stood there. I really want to tell you. Actually, the first time I saw you, my heart started to lose control. Classmate quilt. I picked up the pen to write the final entry of this diary. My youth came to an abrupt end here. One last time. I want to be a little braver. I left the diary on your stack of books. If one day you can see it, if you're willing, you can call me. I'm always here. I can barely stand steady, holding on to the bed, the dizziness making me tremble uncontrollably. Why didn't you finish watching it earlier? Why weren't you braver back then? He walked 100 steps, yet I did not see him, collapsing to the ground. I felt tears that had long dried up surge forth once more, my heart aching in waves. Clutching the diary in one hand, I trembled as I dialed the phone number digit by digit. The time I was absent and late for was Ronald's entire trapped youth. I firmly planted a grand laurel tree in the 3 to 5 years of his youth. I'm sorry. Truly sorry. Beep. Beep. 1 second. 2 seconds. My heart trembles uncontrollably. The call connected. The suffocating feeling in the air intensified. I dared not speak, afraid it wasn't real. Choking up, I said, Ronald. A long silence followed on the other end of the line, stretching endlessly. Through the blur of tears, I heard, classmate quilt. I'm here. End of main text. Extra mini theater. It was 11:30 at night. I dialed the phone. Classmate quilt. I'm here. Hearing his voice, I sobbed even louder. I want to say something, but when I open my mouth, nothing comes out. What is there to say? He went to University B, while I'm about to embark on a journey to the distant University C. Our story was never meant to have an ending, just like my youth, always filled with regrets of gains and losses. I can actually understand why he chose to show me the diary in the end. Given his personality, he wouldn't want his affection to become a burden. So he left the decision to me. He didn't let this story fade away without a conclusion. Instead, he handed it to me, offering a possibility to the feeling sealed within those notebook pages. The phone number is right there, yet I chose to dial it with trembling hands. We are all cowards, but in love, one cannot afford to be a coward. We must all be like warriors, wielding our swords in sincerity and all incomplete stories, cutting through thorns to find our own roses. He stands before you under the stars and moon. Why should I push away? I take a deep breath and speak slowly. Ronald. Hello. I'm Letitia from class 22, grade 12 of the 2021 graduating class. Letitia, may I have a chance to get to know you again? My voice choked up as I spoke. A deep male voice slowly responded from the other end of the phone. Letitia. Hello. I'm Ronald from class 1 of the 2021 graduating class. Ronald, it's an honor to meet you. I feel so embarrassed. It's quite amusing. My quilt was mistakenly taken by someone else. Classmate quilt. Though it might be a bit presumptuous. I wonder if you'd be willing to come downstairs. I'm right outside your place. I rushed to the window. A tall, slender figure stood beneath the bus stop sign. Just like a long time ago. He was there looking to see if I would come. I stumbled down the stairs in a rush, and our eyes met as he turned around. He saw me and couldn't help but smile. His features were clear and bright, perhaps a bit hurried, with his hair slightly disheveled. This time, it was no longer a distant gaze from the first floor to the fourth, no longer separated by the distance of over 1,000 names, no longer just the back view from diagonally across, no longer stealing glances in the hallway, no longer standing half a head apart in graduation photos, no longer scribbling erasures on answer sheets, no longer regretting missed connections, no longer a face glimpsed through the gaps of bookshelves, no longer an unbuttoned school uniform beneath the bus stop sign, no longer just a code name in a diary. The sweltering summer evening breeze lifts the hem of a girl's skirt and tugs at the corners of a boy's shirt. The moon finally closed its eyes contentedly, while the stars nearby seem to be blowing trumpets in celebration. Classmate Quilt. This time, can you tell me your IG? I have a low threshold for tears, and hearing him say that made me unable to hold back again. But I was really happy. Thankfully, I didn't miss it. My smile was uglier than a cry. The corners of my mouth turned upward, but my eyes couldn't stop shedding tears. The wind carried my words to his ears. The honor is all mine. The end.